Hi again. Okay, so here we are. This is Split's Riviera.
Like if we miss this boat,
Like,
we have to
let's
wait
say
till 11:30.
Riva. That's how local people say. Name it, and I wanted to catch some kind of a frame here, something that catches my eye, and then make a drawing of it, kind of in half an hour or something. And I also wanted to introduce you to some of my best places in the palace, inside, you know, the Roman palace. And I wanted you to see how alive it is still, and it has shops and everything is renovated just to keep the same look as authentic as possible, and still to utilize it for many you know, purposes, different, whatever they need. There is even a small cafe on a terrace on the front of the palace, and here is the, let's say, so the palace is somewhere here behind this huge building, which is Capitania. This is where people who sail sign up after a long cruising. Yeah, so okay, so let's go. For me, it seems almost like a Hollywood Boulevard, or better. No offense, I haven't been yet to Hollywood. So here is the entrance. I love this gate, and my boyfriend and I will go through it, so you can see the best place where we go through this basement. And there are lots of souvenirs here selling. It's a little bit dark, sorry. So I will try to put some sketching session on this very location when we're going, and also to try to put a sticker on some rock or something, but it's not practical. It better be something like metally, because it will not last long. Here you see the giant steps. Everything is from white. Everything that is old is made from white stone. And actually, I was researching about the palace like 2 or 3 years ago, and I realized that this place was covered in water, and this was a tunnel for the boats, small boats, to come in and to sign up to go for the, how to say, emperor? It's not the emperor. To see the Lord, let's say, named Diocletian. Okay, we're coming up.
No, move.
Church. Okay, so here we are. And And we're here. This is the best place ever. Look at the Sphinx. I will show the Sphinx. I could not believe that this is kept for all this time, and it's been very well taken care of. So when I saw the Sphinx for the first time, it was like, wow, absolutely wow. And also there's some luxury hotels here, like Luxor, but then I don't see any damages or big renovations, you know. It's very sturdy and unique, so they were clever enough not to touch it, you know. So here, how is this called? It's a church? No. I was not sure what was that, but it's a small build, and also there are very narrow streets, typical for oh, look at this. This is so beautiful. This terraces and all this. Just go. Look at this. It's like being in Greece or Roman Empire. You can just turn back in time here. So, yeah, what is this? Okay, so the narrow streets are wonderful. I will show you. Here, let me turn off. A little bird, oh, a little bird, oh, beauty. Absolutely gorgeous, and the way they kind of connected aqueducts with to take water from the heights. That's also very recognizable still in the infrastructure of Split, and you can see that aqueducts are now used as roads. So not bad, huh? It's still used, and they didn't ruin it totally. And it's very handy. You just put the street on and take a car. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just show you one this more place because I need battery for sketching. I want to do everything today. And this is, let's say, the part that Jewish people built at some point, and you can see the influence from Venice. So let me show you here. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love this place. Okay. So yeah, absolutely the coolest. For example, let's see, look at the work on the buildings. It's like they're using gold to cover up, but in a very, you can see how old it is because many people are using exterior decoration facade in gold. But here there is another technique with the sand. They use sand to make different layers with different value with the gold inside, and that's a very nice way and very long, let's say, long life technique method to make a facade. I love that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Let's go and make drawings. I'm so glad you made it this far with me in this video. Okay, so this is kind of hard to film all together with my big head. This is the north gate of the palace. As you can see, there is still some trace of stonework, hand carving stones in the windows, which they closed after, you know, it started to kind of ruin. So yeah, it's a beautiful parking here, and I cannot see a thing. And there is also a sculpture of me. Catch it. Okay, so here's the sculpture I love, and there is a legend about the Dojiban. There is a legend about if you touch this saint's toe, you will eventually be happy. Oh, and here is the cat. Okay, let's go further. I will sit in a park and sketch a bit. Also, I love this angle. I would very much love to draw the sculpture from here because it's a very nice angle. Yeah, let's see. Okay, see you later. Okay, so this is the frame I'm gonna be sketching, and I'm very happy with this angle. I love the robe and the posture in general. So when you have a nice sculpture to draw, it's good from every angle. And what is this saint? Buena. This is Saint Grigor. Oh, he's not a saint?
No.
He's what? Okay, he's Grigor Ninsky, and we'll find out if you're interested. But I thought it was a saint because they're touching his toe for luck and all that. Never mind. See you later. Prismacolor color and lots of brush pens because I didn't have a nerve to take gouache because I need much more equipment to settle and draw, so they're kind of easier. I hope we will do something nice. just a bit. Okay, this is some old sketch I was doing on while I was talking. We organized in Belgrade to see each other once a month. You know, professional illustrators who know each other through Facebook. So we're kind of trying to make a group once a month and talk about the work and have some coffee and sketch. And that's also exciting. I'm very excited about it. It lasts. We saw, I think, each other so far 3 or 4 times, but I'm very excited because I see people are interested to communicate more, because illustrators are, let's say, closed in between the walls most of the time in front of their computer. They're not really, only if they're working in a publishing house, they're meant to communicate with people alive. But yeah, usually we are lonely ones, so that's a good thing. Okay. No, that's not the color. Has some kind of a strange head here. It's kind of a lord head, I think. Make some pure up sketches of the portrait. And then try to make the entire thing on another paper. Okay? Working on a tone paper is very interesting because you already have something set up, like a mid-tone, and when you do when you use like light yellow or some kind of ochre, yellow ochre, or whatever is very bright, it creates a very nice sensibility to the drawing, and also helps for you to make less, let's say, obvious mistakes. To practice better and to have a nicer looking result. And at the end, you can also, painters and illustrators, as you know, also add white accents at the end, the highlights, so it looks very appealing and professional. And for me, it's just very much easier because you don't have to fill the paper first with midtones. You just start and do from there. Okay. That's it. Okay. I don't have a place for a hand in this sketch. I'll show you later what I did. Also, I could never, I see many illustrators that are very nice having their color palette and being so flawless with the style in the sketchbooks. I'm not really that type because I'm always pulled to, you know, feel the colors of what I'm drawing or sketching, and I always want to use so many colors at the same time or combined, or I never do have some uniform style with color wise. So I'm just using whatever. See, the battery is still holding, that's the video. As I said, I don't use this camera for, I don't know, it's just very beginning. Yeah, the more I draw this guy, it's more funny because of the nose and the hat. It's funny. Anyway, this is my very start with a Canon M50, so if you have any advices on angles outside the studio, how to film myself while sketching, that would be very helpful. As I said, I'm just starting. This is the very rough start. Even putting on stickers in space was kind of a, while vlogging was creepy and bad. Here's what I have so far. This is really, really, really rough. Okay. I don't know if you can see. This autofocus is not so bad. But yeah, let's try out a little bit more with maybe to start with a wooden pencil, because it's better for exploring and putting nice, making a nicer composition on the paper. Maybe that. Let's make a rough entire. I'm making now here a small frame in which I will put the entire composition on. He loves books like we do. Sometimes I'm making a joke on my account when people are talking about what they read recently, or you know, talking about new books coming out in, for example, locally in our country or whatever. And then I say, wow, I would love to have more time to read something that is not a children's book, which I love. But you know, when you're so old and you just, it's a wonderful job when you're just into children's literature, analyzing psychology and trying to put that on a paper and make a client love it. That's all you do, and you not really spare time for pretty much anything else. Reading, you constantly read manuscripts. Okay, so let's try with Prismacolor first, some very light one, and then when we straighten it up with this water liquid ink brush pens, which I love. These are, I don't know if you know these, but these are the best for me because they have a rubber brush tip, and the top stays always as it was, you know, it doesn't get ruined over time, and you can really use it all to the end and still have the tiniest line and, you know, the boldest one you like. Okay, let's see which colors. I have 24 Prismacolor Premier colors here. Okay, maybe the yellow one again. I took the yellow again. So now I'm more relaxed because I already saw some main angles of the hands, of his hand that is pointing up in a very weird way, but I love it. And I need to fit in the book and leave some space on the left side, so it don't suffocate, you know, feel claustrophobic when we look at the sketch. I think this guy wasn't really huge by, you know, physically, but this sculpture probably wanted to show his driveness and his mind by showing this bold and huge body and sharp nose, which shows the wisdom. There is a lot of symbolic when you look at it. Just I think regular sculpture would never really think deeper than that. I think there is a lot to it, the way you portray the face, what you want to do, and it also has a lot with the, you know, character design. Like, for example, Steven Spielberg is really, and all the other good character designers, they're putting everything they can for the character to match his lifestyle, his temper, his life habits, yeah, whatever is important. To make a nice frame here, the thing I like about life drawing is really feeling and not remembering. That's why you're in front of something. You have to have your visual library developing all through your professional life, but this is very empowering and valuable if you can just give yourself a chance, or sometimes you can, but that's okay. But whenever you have the chance to see exactly like this, when I think morning sun is the longest one that you will see looking the same, and in afternoon maybe that's not the best idea for somebody that's really just beginning, because everybody who are talented and like studying art or self-taught, they see the differences like in minutes because they're talented and visual, and they see a lot of details. But morning sun is very stable for very few hours, and it's not bad to do that in the morning like we did now, and we did spontaneously. So yeah, not bad, not all. We just wanted not to be burnt by sun, but this is even better. Okay, so we're here, almost here. Okay. I added second midtones. So yeah, my camera was off and I don't know when, so try to glue it up while editing. I'm not sure how much we lost. But basically, sacrificing some parts are making other more important parts that you find and decide most important on the sculpture, on the object, or whatever you're designing, sketching. here from life, for example, are more popping up, much more, because you're adding that creative thinking part into it and being yet still being impressed by the thing you're doing. This is so spontaneous. I didn't know I would be talking this much and having all these ideas what to say while I'm drawing, but it's really natural. When somebody's drawing every day like I do, like 12 hours a day, I really do have to think step by step to make my work more effective, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, and I'm just talking about it. Not bad. Hopefully it's not boring but useful for someone. Speaking about, I prefer, okay, so that's not good. So honestly, I do prefer being more honest than showing my most representative work. Okay, there will be something like that, or long painting sessions that I will show up for a magazine illustration or something like that. But I wanted to show all the flaws possible that may occur and not cut them out while editing, or like not showing this sketch. If I'm really, for example, if I suck it up with a recording, then I might not publish something on YouTube because of the video quality or something I screwed up technically. But I really want to share everything that is really happening, because that's where the essence of being a YouTuber is. You just show what may occur or not. You show your good days and bad days, and I think that's pretty amazing, because when I was starting, you know, when I was an art student, there was not so many. There was definitely very few people, and I always love to mention them. The first one, when I was really starving for advice, is how to start to work full-time as an illustrator and freelancer and all that. How to get your first gigs, you know. There goes the best possible person still, you know, in my mind, because he was so open about it. He was posting high-resolution images, illustrations of his. He was posting regularly on his blog. People were commenting, and you could learn even from the comments. And that's the famous Will Terry. Thank you, Will Terry. I love you. I think I will leave the link. So he's such a good person, and that always reflects on people's work, you know, how good and professional they are, but also you can see there he's kind of a teacher in his soul, but also he likes to help. He doesn't really want to do everything for money, which we all have to do, but still I find him very compassionate, because back in 2000, let's say 2010, 11, nobody except him I personally could find on YouTube from Serbia to talk about these things, which are very important. So thumbs up to Will Terry, I love you. And also on my academy, when I was studying art, it's a 10 semesters studies, we were not learning about anything that comes to marketing yourself, you know, the strategy of selling your services, your skills, which I found a lot more present in, for example, West Coast academies like Los Angeles area. I saw some interviews and people are just learning, their students, how to go out in the world after that, and we didn't have that kind of thing. So it was a very unfamiliar field for me when I was just starting. It was really, really hard, especially when I go back. I would never go back, but it's challenging, and I love challenges, but it's also very stressful. Okay, here it is. Here's the next phase of it. I kind of start to like what I have here, but I still need some more darker tones because this robe is very rich in volume, and I'm trying to portray that somehow. This paper is actually really good quality for whatever I was using it for. I also made some acrylic paintings in Sri Lanka when I was back there. It was weird, but this paper I bought in Paris, I somehow, I don't know how, after 2 months there, ended up with some extra money to bring home, and I realized there's so many nice art supplies there, which I can't buy in my country. And when I order online, it's such a ridiculous postage and import fees that you don't want to buy the product at all. You know, it ends up 3 times more for postage. So I went to the huge store with art materials on Rue de Rivoli, and I bought a few of some different sketchbooks to try. Never regretted it. Some of them didn't try yet because I'm working mostly digitally, but definitely will, especially now with YouTube. I'm so happy that I will give myself time to use some traditional techniques again. I love inking, but I also miss painting with watercolors, and I really want to go back to it. Sometimes I do with these brush pens something for magazines, sometimes, but mostly, yeah, I don't even have time for that kind of commissions anymore. But yeah, I'm in love with it, in the fact that I will probably be doing something more traditionally because I want to rest my eyes from the monitor. And in case you guys are interested, of course I will do it digitally. Digital is so much easier, right? There are so many options to deal with, tools to use to make it easier. Taking color palettes even from photos, so you don't have to think and mix the colors and all that. I mean, you have to know how to use them, but it's easier to apply and find nice color palette and spend less time. Okay, I don't know how long we're filming this. Hope it's not too long. I would just finish some more midtones here. Probably took me longer because I'm talking, but yeah, it's still pretty nice to talk to the camera, and yet okay, here's where we are now. I added some more midtones and more midtones, and I can go over and over, but you can see the volume here now popping up because even without the white I started, this was too soon. But when I added this third or fourth layer over, and the paper is really nicely absorbing it, this part, which is really voluminous and hard and heavy and exposed to the sun, became much more more truthful to the real thing I'm drawing from. It looks like the sculpture, definitely. That's not that. This is why people do these things in the studio, but this is much more interesting, especially because I love to travel. When you draw something, oh, that's much better. Okay, that's it. So basically, we're kind of done, but I really do want, because oh, these guys are love. But I just wanted to point out about. Okay, this is a drawing. I just wanted to point out why I love live drawing when I'm traveling. So basically, I'm not in Split for the first time, but I love Split, and I hardly had any time to draw from life when I'm here, because I'm always working and traveling. But I'm just doing what is necessary to go on the beach after that. So basically, when you travel, photography is something, and video is wonderful and portrays certain things. But the things you feel when you see something, that's the only way you can capture it as an artist, is to actually draw or sketch or paint it. So I highly recommend, if you love traveling and you love fall in love into some piece of of wood, you love the texture or whatever, and then you start drawing, you will remember it for the rest of your life. And when you look at a drawing, for example, I remember the smell of the place where I was, which I really cannot say after 5-10 years that I remember when I see photos. I do not. So that's the advantage of being creative and artist, and it's nice for visual memory, and it's wonderful. So I highly recommend it, and hope to see you next time. Okay, bye bye.